Good morning, everyone. It's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do you What's Cracking reading. Today is Friday the 15th of November. Firstly, I want to just let you know that I've had to pull out of the next fair that I was going to do at Orange, and my apologies for that, but things are very sort of still a little uncertain at the moment. I do have a Facebook Live on the 8th of December. At this stage, I'm hoping that I can still go ahead with that. And, of course, every Wednesday now I'm on Moonstruck Television. Decision coming out, head over heart decision coming out clear for you. So I'm sorry that things seem a little unstable at the moment, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks things will sort of straighten out a little bit and we can move forward. Seven of Cups coming out. The cards are very lively, actually. So, yeah, just bear with me a little. I ask that you do that. I'll be back to doing all the readings this weekend, so I still keep your readings fairly steady. But I'm actually thinking of moving house at the moment, so that could possibly come up in the next month or two. So, life still goes on, folks. Doesn't matter which way you look at it. Life still goes by. Anyway, let's get on with your reading. That's a nice way to start the Friday reading. I like that start. So we have the Ace of Cups here. So the Ace of Cups talks about a brand new start in love. This is something being offered here, something that is divinely guided by the universe. So we see the universe coming in with the hand here to offer you this love. Now, for some of you, this can be romantic love. For others of you, it can be, you know, love of something, love of a new child, birth of a new child, going into a new job that you really love, but definitely a change coming in. Well, how interesting, because I've got a reversed card here. So I want to say to you, what a good card to have in reverse. So the Hanged Man upright talks of being stuck, being, you know, it's that feeling I always think like walking in treacle, where you feel like you're just not going anywhere. When he's in reverse, it's telling you you're coming out of this period of time of being stuck, which is really nice, because if you're moving into a period of time where you're loving something, then that's got to be a good thing. So we then have the Eight of Wands, which talks about something coming quickly. Rightio, so you're coming to the end of this cycle. We've been talking about this for a long time now. When you're waiting to finish out a cycle and you're going through a lot of awakening or realizations, epiphanies, whatever it is for you, but at the moment you feel like you're a bit stuck in one place, and I want to say to you that is because you are nearing the end of a cycle and moving into a completely new period in your life. There does seem to be some sort of conflict around this as well. Some sort of feeling of winning but not winning. So something may have happened here to help you to close out this cycle. So sometimes this can be conflict with other people. Sometimes it's you walking away from conflict. Rightio. So it looks to me like many of you at the moment are realizing the conflict you're having in your life. You're moving away, closing out a cycle, moving forward very quickly, coming out of the Hanged Man or the suspension or the waiting room and moving into a brand new period here. Whatever this is for you, whether it's work, love, relationships, family, there is definitely a brand new start coming in. Something you're going to really, really feel passionate towards here. A lot of love. Okay, so first off, we have the Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups talks of celebrating with family and friends. It is about reunions, get-togethers, can be weddings, but all sorts of celebrations here. Okay, and then we have the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles, I love this card. It's so pretty in this deck. Look at the sunflowers. The Page of Pentacles is some sort of communication coming in regards to something more tangible. Sometimes this can be an offer of something, but it's a communication. And for some of you, this is a communication from someone who's moved away from some sort of other situation to move towards you here. This is something very karmic here. There's a feeling that someone's turned their back on another situation in order to make an offer. Let's keep going. Okay, and there comes the offer. This isn't a solid offer, again, coming from the universe. She hasn't taken it yet. She's a little bit reluctant to take this because it's actually coming from a snake. So she's not really sure whether she's dealing with something that's legitimate or not. So she's a little bit reluctant to accept this offer. You could be dealing with a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Whoever this person is, they're very grounded, very stable, perhaps a little bit more financially focused, but they're like partner material. So they're ready to have a relationship. And we have the Death card coming in here. So some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio, but it's more likely that this is some sort of transformation somebody's been through here. I feel like the cards are already flipping here, so I'll get into that a little bit further. Okay, so the Three of Pentacles. So somebody wants to work on something with you now that they either didn't want to work on before or weren't available to work on before. Now, if this is a work situation for you, what I think's happening here is you're being given an opportunity to move forward on a job that perhaps you didn't think you would get before. But I feel like they've knocked someone out of the race here. Someone's gone out of the race. So you may have been like shortlisted for a job and someone's dropped out of the running, and it's left this job for you now. There is a very strong feeling that someone's coming in to offer this to you. And I feel like it's a complete change of work situation too. So you may have gone for something that you haven't done before. Nine of Pentacles coming in here. So definitely feeling very independent, very self-sufficient, very ready to move forward on something new here. You're being led here. You're being guided towards this. So you're definitely ready for this situation. Beautiful, because the Temperance card is here. So not only are you balanced and in the right frame of mind to move forward on this, there's this feeling that divine timing's coming in here as well. Okay, so back to meditation, folks. Always good to meditate, taking time out to make this decision. Whatever this decision is you're making here, it's not quite clear. It's sort of a little bit scattered. Making sure that you have strong boundaries in place. Really deciding what you want here. I think that's why that Two of Pentacles came out in the beginning. So for most of you, this is about stability, not necessarily just in love, stability in your life. This is why this decision, I think that you've got yourself to a place in life where you feel really comfortable. For some of you, going into a relationship now might sort of be a bit overwhelming, because it looks like you've got all your ducks in a row, as I always say, and now you're sort of being upheavaled. And the same thing for work. It's like there's this sort of feeling that, this change is going to bring in so many new things that you're finding it a little difficult to cope with the idea of change here. Okay, so we are moving into a new time here. You are closing out a cycle here after, and it's coming in fairly quickly too, but it looks like you've been in a waiting period for some time here, and you're coming out of that now. There definitely seems to be, when I look at the cards further on, there definitely seems to be this feeling that you're being divinely guided. You'll be led in a direction. I feel that perhaps you've been cycling something in your life, like you've been stuck on a path here of repeating patterns, and coming into some sort of conflict with that. I feel that for some of you, whether this is jobs or relationships, there's this very strong feeling that you are finally realizing what you've been doing all along, because there's an absolute change here. This could be for some of you about self-love as well, but definitely a very big change. So moving into the future, some sort of offer coming into you to make you move on a different pathway. There seems to be a little bit of deliberation here, because there's this feeling of this head over heart decision. I feel that you're in a place where you're very comfortable where you are, and you're not really sure you want to disrupt the status quo, but you know you've got to do it, and the universe is really pushing or encouraging you to move in this new direction. I feel that the time's right. So whatever it is for you, whether this is about love, whether this is about money, there's a lot of pentacles in the reading and very few cups, which is, a little different. But you've been through some sort of transition here in order to take on a new cycle. And I think that this feeling of change is bringing some apprehension and some unsurety with it. So a little bit of decision making to do, perhaps a little bit of taking time out to, set some goals for yourself, set some things to look forward to in the future, but maybe really looking into things and researching what you're going to do here before you move forward. If this is about love, then I would say to you, you need to be really clear about what you want going forward. Because this feeling of coming into this right place and finding this beautiful stability is here, but it's like you're holding back for some reason. And maybe it could be because, you know, it looks like you may have been waiting quite a long while on this with the Hanged Man in reverse. But I'm feeling like it's all of a sudden it's going to happen, and it might sort of take you off guard, I think. But we'll get a little bit of advice from the Oracle card. Okay, so we have Unfinished Symphony here. Oh, well, we did. And this is card number 10. By the way, somebody wrote to me yesterday and asked me if I was back to personal readings, and yes, I am. I'm back now. Okay, so unfinished business is an incomplete lesson and lack of closure and the need to make amends, which makes a whole lot of sense here with this closing out the cycle and understanding the new path. This is a time to tie up loose ends as you near the completion of a cycle or project and mastery of a lesson or skill. Didn't that fit beautifully? Before you can move forward, it's important that you come to terms with where you are now. And I think this is why you're getting this card here. It's like this is a time to sort of sit back and really look at where you've come from and really look where you want to go before you decide to move forward. Practice radical acceptance. Take inventory so that emotional and psychological closure can occur and the answers you seek will be found. You can't move forward if you are leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can finally end on a high note. And I know that with the unfinished symphony, even if it's a relationship that you're walking away from, making sure that you don't have to have closure from the other person, but making sure that you have your own closure here. But I feel like you're feeling very independent and ready to move forward. Nice reading, folks. Have a great Friday.